Alrighty, you lot. We're 2 games in to the finals. I apologise. The finals, I did not realise, started over a weekend in Australia. So I kind of really didn't have time to produce a video for game one for that Tyrese buzzer beater that for whatever reason, every time that guy shoots the ball with 2 seconds on the clock, it goes in. The dude's a psycho. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. How he continues to do it over and over again is just some sort of mystery to me. It's just insane. There's no other word for it. In the NBA Finals, away from home, game one on the line, and you pull that out. Little mid-range jump shot. It was just like I picked OKC to win in 5 games, and if I would have been asked to pick the games that they won, I would have said OKC would have gone to Indiana 2-0 up. But that's not the case. It just so turns out that Tyrese Halliburton is the best clutch player that we've seen in a very long time. And he just does it time and time again. It's not a fluke. It's not like he's done it for the first time. He's done it 5 times in this playoffs. Just absurd. It makes absolutely no sense. It's just, it's crazy. Game 2, however, it was more of what I sort of expected from the OKC Thunder. Didn't expect them to have so many double-digit scorers. We had Alex Caruso with 20 points, which I didn't even think Alex Caruso was capable of scoring 20 points. He was hitting his jump shots. And if you're a team like the Indiana Pacers and you're losing to Alex Caruso hitting jump shots, you take it. Because you're not going to lose to Shea, because if you let your team lose to Shea, you're kind of riding your own will at that point, because you really don't want to lose to their best player. But if you're going out and you're in a position to win the game where Alex Caruso is their top scorer, well, he didn't top score, but he may as well have. Shea's always going to have his buckets regardless of what you throw at him. Alex Caruso, hats off to you. Unbelievable game. Defensive side of the ball, you know what you're going to get from Alex Caruso on the defensive side of the ball. It doesn't really matter what you get from him on the offensive side of the ball. You always know that he's going to go down the other end and he's going to steal. He's going to get deflections. He's even going to contest at the rim. That's how good Alex Caruso is on the defensive side of the ball. So he's going to get those rotational minutes. And if he can continue to produce those offensive outbursts while he's on the court, it makes OKC so much better than they already are. And we know how good OKC already is. So shout out to him. One problem that I really had with the Pacers in between game 1 and game 2 was game 2, Pascal Siakam really didn't look like he wanted the ball. And when he wanted the ball, they just went away from him. It just looked like they didn't want to give him the ball. The whole reason that the Indiana Pacers were in that first game was because of Pascal Siakam. There's all the narratives and all the stories and all the glory goes to Tyrese because Tyrese hit that jump shot. But realistically, Tyrese had 14 points. Didn't really do a lot. He had more points yesterday, I think, Tyrese did, but it felt like more of the same. I think he ended up with 17 or 19 or something like that. But at the same time, that literally means nothing because by the time he started scoring his points, the game had already been finished. It was like a 25-point lead for the Thunder. It was just a complete, it was 3 points, pretty much. Not that there is, ever 3 points in the NBA, but, by the time Tyrese started looking for his jump shot and actually looking like he wanted to score the ball, the game was already pretty much over. And it was sort of the same thing in game one. He looked really passive and didn't really look to score the ball. And that's where Pascal Siakam came in. And that's where Pascal has sort of came in throughout this playoff run, was when Tyrese was not scoring the basketball, it'd immediately go to Pascal Siakam and Pascal would score the ball. And game one especially, he would get that mismatch on, it was Shea for a lot of the time, because OKC have that many good defenders that, like, even if you get a switch, 9 times out of 10, it's not really a mismatch. Sure, he has the speed mismatch on, like, Isaiah Hartenstein and maybe Chet Holmgren. Chet's pretty, like, lateral on his feet, all things considered. But he got the ball on the post with Shea on him, and he went straight at the bucket. And that's exactly what you want from your power forward, who was your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He was religious for scoring the ball in that New York series. He showed up in every single big moment that they needed from him. And you would expect him to keep going in that sort of direction. Wasn't the case. I think Miles Turner, for as good of an offensive player as Miles Turner has been throughout the course of his career, he got way too many shots this game. It felt like for the whole third quarter that Miles Turner was taking every single shot. We know Miles Turner isn't the best player in the world at finishing around the ring, although he had that one dunk on Isaiah Hartenstein, which was ridiculous. But, like, other than having those moments where he throws it down on top of somebody's head, you have, like, the missed layups and the uncoordinated, spin move layup. And he was taking 3-point jump shots. You had him on the pick and pop and the pick and roll so many times, and because Tyrese was so passive, he would just go straight to Miles Turner. He would run the action, he'd run to the wing, and then just give Miles Turner the ball and say, all right, go and score it. Not who Miles Turner is. Because Miles Turner is a hell of a role player, and I would want him on a roster if I was ever constructing a roster, because he is that good on the defensive, not only the defensive side of the ball, but having a genuine 7-footer who can also shoot the ball is like, it's becoming more and more popularized nowadays with the likes of Wemby and Chet and all those sorts of guys. But it's a massive plus on your team. That being said, I don't know how many shots exactly he took. I'd have to go back and look at the box score. But it felt like he took way too many shots. I reckon he shot the most shots of any Indiana Pacer, or probably anyone on the court in the third quarter. It was an interesting strategy. I don't know if he sort of stick to it going back to Indianapolis. Realistically, though, you got to tip your hat to Indiana. They went into OKC, they won a game. That's exactly what you need to do in a series like this. But now it goes back to Indiana and they have to win 2 straight. Because if you split the series up going 2-2 against OKC, or even, maybe losing the next 2 games and dropping a 3-1. If you go to 3-1, the series is definitely over. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But if you then go back to OKC 2-2, don't know how I like the chances. Can you focus up, camera, please? Thank you. I don't know how I feel about it. Indiana might actually make it more than 5 games, like I predicted. I was talking to a couple of buddies yesterday, and we were all saying, is there a genuine chance that Indiana win this series? I think it's very, very unlikely still, especially after the performance yesterday and OKC once again showing who they are and how good they are. But there is a real-world possibility where the Indiana Pacers continue on this run and actually have a win. Because as good as this Pacers team is, I believe that they won't be back next year. OKC is very likely to be back next year. A lot of the players in their starting lineup, it's like their third year in the league. Chet, it's really only his second real year in the league. Shea's been in the league for a few years, but he's only sort of found that stardom in the last couple of years. Case and Wallace, he's a young man. They're all so young. And to already make it to the finals in such a dominant fashion, we know they're going to be back, regardless of sort of what happens. Whereas this Pacers team, I don't know if that bottle strikes twice and you beat teams like the... I mean, we don't know what Boston's going to look like next year, provided they're so far into their luxury tax, it's absurd. But there is teams in the East that are a very good chance of beating them. So we don't know what's going to happen. The Pacers really need to win these next two. Next game, I believe, is in a couple of days on Thursday for me. Any of you Americans, it's Friday. Or Wednesday. No, they're a day behind, so it's Wednesday. My apologies. Yeah. Great series so far. Tyrese, unreal. Indiana, please get the ball back to Pascal Siakam, because he has been their best offensive player all series, all playoffs. Yeah, that just needs to happen. That's it. That's sort of my 2 games recap-y sort of thing. I will get a Game 3 recap actually out to you guys. I've just been busy over the last couple of days. I got to watch majority of both games, but I just didn't have enough time to actually get on here and make the video, which I apologize for. Thank you to you guys and all your support. Every subscriber sort of counts and it makes my day so much better. I got another subscriber, I think it was yesterday or something. And it's fuel for me. I love seeing it, like more and more people joining the community. Yeah, the more of you guys there is, the better. Because the more it keeps me in this chair and the more it keeps me analysing this sort of stuff. So, I love doing this. So, if you guys can continue to show support on the channel, that would be awesome. Yeah, that's my recap. I will see you guys. I'm not sure if I will do a video between now and Game 3. I've got a couple of days to do so. So, maybe tomorrow I might throw just a random video up, depending on how I feel. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there will definitely be a video after Game 3. I need to start to plan what I'm going to do over the off-season, because literally the off-season might be next week. So other than trade news, I'm going to start to try and find some videos that I can make throughout the off-season, because NBA off-season is only a few months, but it feels like it goes forever. So I'll continue to plan that and continue to get content to you guys. I'm not going to go ghost like I did last year. I will take a bit of a break, but we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow or a couple of days' time, whatever works. But yeah, we'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching.